Now, there's a verse in the Bible that says, "Do not be fooled, God cannot be mocked. As a man sows, so shall he also reap." Now, what does this mean? This means that for everything that you input, you will output in equal proportion. How foolish would it be for a farmer to look at the soil, stare at the soil 24/7, curse at the soil, expecting fruit when he has planted nothing, when he has not carefully watered and supervised the growth of his labor? It is stupid. Yet we do the exact same thing in our own lives. We expect a result without putting anything in. We expect an output that we cannot control, yet that which we can control, which is the input, we do not focus on. My friend, if you want to get to the next level in your career, let me tell you one thing. You must not be focused on the next level of your career. You must be focused on the input, that which you can control. So let me ask you, what can you control today? Well, you can control when you show up. You can control how much you work. You can control the quality of your labor. You can control the quality of your relationships. You can control what you input into your ears, what you input into your mind. But nobody wants to focus on that because it's too laborious. It requires too much patience. My friend, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. So the reason you are unhappy is because you want something that you have not worked for. You want something that you have not earned. And that which you earn will come to you in due time and in due process. But you must be focused on putting in the hours, the energy, the attention, the dedication in order to receive that which you want. You look at the podium and you look at these champions receive trophies and medals and you assume that they just landed there. You just assume that they just achieved greatness by chance, by luck. There's no such thing as luck, only probabilities. So as you increase your input, you increase your probabilities. So my friend, my question to you today is, what are you inputting into your life? Because where you are today is completely based on the input of your life, period. There is no debating on this thought. It's very simple. Isaac Newton said it. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So that which you input, you will receive in equal proportion. It's very straightforward. It is a universal law, and these universal laws are unflexible. They are unbendable. You cannot get past them. The process is the prize. The pursuit of becoming is the prize. Once you achieve that which you wanted to achieve, you will look back at the process and realize that who you became in that season was a lot better than what you achieved. Because we're so easy to desire what others have. We're so easy to daydream as to what we want and what we deserve. But when you can stop living in the future, which you cannot control, it's an elusive construct of reality, a fabric of our imagination, and you sober up to reality and focus on the input of what can you do today, right now, in order to maximize your chances of a future that is beneficial to you. Then, my friend, then and only then will you become happy. Will you become a person that lives in a state of equanimity. Do not be fooled. God cannot be mocked. That which a man sows, so shall he also reap. Walk with power, walk with truth.
The Bible says it. As a man thinketh, so is he. So what do you say about yourself? Who are you? How do you speak to who you are and the goals and the ambitions that you have in your life? You know what I mean? So when you see the goals and ambitions and dreams and aspirations that you have, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a multimillionaire. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be healthy and have a nice home and take care of your family. But the system will tell you, you have to work, you have to be an employee. When you realize, as we are here in Geneva, that the way to make money, the way to liberate yourself, isn't through the ways of the system. It's not through a 9-to-5. It's through self-development. It's through the understanding of the game. It's through understanding how the system works and understanding how to exploit the system to your advantage, because there's loopholes that were created intentionally by people that created the rules of the system that you abide by. So ladies and gentlemen, if failure was not an option and you couldn't fail and money wasn't an obstacle, and money wasn't real, what would you do? Who would you become? What would be bred out of that desire for greatness? I don't know about you, but in my book, in my opinion, I can't lose. Because losing is something that is designed for people that quit and for people that fail. I don't fail, I learn. I reevaluate, I analyze, I cross-examine, I fine-tune, I refine my craft. Maybe not now in my mid-20s, but in my 40s, in my 50s, in my 60s, in my 70s, in my 80s, in my 100s, I will have refined my craft, because it's a process of self-development. So if you couldn't fail because failure is not an option, because failure isn't real, who would you become? Who would you be? Who's holding you back? Who's telling you you can't? You? Or is it the programming inside of you? Maybe it ain't you. So ladies and gentlemen, get woke. Get positive. The world is yours for the taking.
Have you read the Bible by chance? I recommend you read
Everybody's
it.
saying that.
Okay, then so maybe that's God telling you to read it. Have you heard of King David? You've heard of the Star of David. So King David has a son. His name is Solomon. There's a story in the Bible where Solomon is dreaming. He goes into dream state. And God comes to him in dream state. And God says to Solomon, anything that you want, I will give you. If you want wealth, I'll give you wealth. I'll make you the richest man. If you want kingdoms, I'll give you the kingdoms. Tell me whatever it is that you want and I'll give it to you. And Solomon didn't ask for riches, didn't ask for kingdoms. He asked for one thing. He said, give me wisdom. And God gave him wisdom. And after that, the riches came, the kingdoms came, and every other thing that comes with it. So as I read that, I sat there and I was like, God, give me wisdom. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what this means, but give me wisdom and allow me to be a person that makes decisions not out of spontaneity, not out of reactiveness or out of emotion, but out of a state of mind in which I can be wise. And from that, everything else will come. So my relationship with God is now a pursuit of truth and a pursuit of wisdom. And I think it's working.
Seems like it.
It's like the Bible says, without vision, people perish. You need to have somebody that casts a vision and somebody that fulfills that vision. People need to buy into a vision. A lot of people are walking around with no vision, and you see a lot of employees that are depressed and like they don't have any purpose in the organization. That's the fault of the top. That's not the fault of the below level employee. That's the fault of the person that understands and manages the culture and the tempo of the team.